Latin American equities have had quite the run over the last decade, up 500% on an accumulated basis. So why are they still an attractive investment?
Yeah, I mean, they did have quite a run, and when you look at the last 10 years, also a lot of the stories of the past, debt defaults, hyperinflation, those are things that do not apply to these markets any longer. So they have become a real, a key component of any asset allocator's portfolio. So when you're thinking about building a portfolio, Latin American equities is something you want to have in the portfolio.
Is the consumer the key here? I mean, they're starting to spend more with inflation that's come down. They've gained wealth.
Correct. In the past, you used to think of Latin America as mainly a commodity play. When you look at Latin America now, the way we're looking at it is really the growth in domestic consumption. So like you said, you had inflation going down that has given pace to interest rates coming down and wealth increasing across the region, especially when you combine that with demographics. 55% of the population is below the age of 35. So then it becomes a really attractive recipe for wealth creation. So local consumption is what we really focus on, not necessarily the commodity play. But of course, you have really good commodity companies in the region, whether it's in Mexico or in Brazil. And we look at those as well.
What regions do you favor? Because when I think of Latin America, I think of Brazil and Mexico.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, Brazil is the largest market in the region. And when you look from the perspective of an investor, the markets in Brazil and Mexico provide the depth that allows us to really find a lot of companies to invest in. So yes, those are continue to be the largest markets. Of course, then you have what I would call the Andean region, Chile, Peru, Colombia. Those are attractive markets, but don't have the depth. So a lot of times the issue that we have is finding enough companies to buy with enough liquidity. As you know, the pension plans participate very actively in those markets and eliminate some of the flow that otherwise would exist for us to invest in. So those markets continue to be the key markets that we invest in. We look at other markets, really company by company. And then what we like to see in Latin America, the biggest challenge that we have is we want these markets to grow more liquid, have more stocks to pick, and that will allow us to go to other markets as well.
What sectors do you like the most?
If you go back to what I mentioned before in terms of the local consumption, so obviously we're going to like banks, retailers, consumer companies, wireless, home builders. That's the type of companies that we invest in, that we favor right now.
This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to